You are now watching Fourth and Inches.
I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to them boys that sat on them benches, boy. I was in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. Put me in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. And I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage.
All right, y'all. Welcome back, man. Fourth and Inches. It's your boy Nick, man. I got Rodriguez Moore here with me.
Yes, sir.
All right, so real quick, man, we're gonna jump into some of these week 2 scores. Let's see. We had Kentucky go in the swamp, pull off the win against Florida, 26-16. You know, I told y'all Anthony Richardson really won that. I told y'all he won that. Anybody won't believe me, man. So, what's your opinion on the game, man? What in your mind?
I watched a little bit of it, man. It was a good game, man. He tried, you know what I'm saying. He can't do so much though. But I think it was really more so Kentucky offense because they was killing them boys with that play action pass. Tight end stayed open. They was killing them with it.
Yeah, man. Like if I didn't tell you which one of them was supposed to be in the first round quarterback, you would have swore. Like you would assume it was Will Levis from
Yeah, he
Kentucky.
looked good now.
Now,
He looked
Will
good.
Levis is another one that a lot of people say has NFL talent. You know, he got the size. He like 6'4", 230. He mobile in the pocket. He got the big arm. You know, all the same stuff they say about Anthony Richardson, really. But we'll see how it play out, man. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
Arkansas was hosting South Carolina. It's a game that we kind of kept our eyes on because, you know, both teams supposed to be up and coming. And Arkansas won 44-30. The game was not as close as the final score appears. Arkansas dominated that game from beginning to end. South Carolina had no answer for the run game of Arkansas.
I ain't gonna lie, that's one game I didn't watch. I ain't even went back and watched the highlights of that game. I just seen the final score. But I mean, pretty much what I figured was gonna happen happened.
I see a lot of people, you know, they basically trying to blame Spencer Rattler for them losing. But Spencer Rattler ain't had no time to throw. And when he had time to throw, it wasn't really many people open. Like, that's going to be a
That boy,
problem for them.
that boy Drew Sanders from Alabama that transferred to Arkansas, he was balling out that game.
Oh, yeah, he had a
Man,
great game.
11 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. That boy playing ball now.
And Arkansas defensive coaching staff, what his name, Barry Odom, the defensive coordinator, he was smart enough to just turn him loose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you got somebody that can play like that and they own their game, don't get in their way. Let them go.
Yep.
Moving on, we had Tennessee go on the road, you know, pull off the upset win over Pitt. I ain't consider it an upset because we both picked
I'm gonna
Tennessee
say
anyway.
I ain't consider that no upset. I would have considered it an upset if Tennessee would have lost.
But I think Pitt was favored by like
They
3 or
was.
4, something like that.
Yeah, they was favored. But still, I feel like it would have been an upset if Tennessee would have lost.
Right. But Tennessee looked good though. You know, Hendon Hooker looked like he picking up where he left off last year. Tillman, the big receiver, still looking like a baby T.O. out there.
I mean, he looked good last year though.
Exactly. Like
They
even when they
looked good
played
last year.
Georgia,
So
I was like, even when they played Georgia, he had over 100 yards receiving on Georgia. He wasn't even supposedly the star of that team. I'm like, he the problem. He is a problem.
when they played Bama, they looked good. It was a close game. We ended up pulling away at the end, but the game was closer than what the score was. That's for sure.
Yeah, see, the Georgia game really went close after the first quarter, but he was balling
And
though.
our game was close to like we didn't start pulling away until in the middle of the third quarter. That's when we started pulling on away. But up until that point, the ball was playing hard.
That's what's up. We had BYU playing host to Baylor. You know, BYU was able to pull the upset win 26-20. I think you picked BYU. I picked Baylor though in that game, but I'm not
Yeah,
really
I picked so.
surprised.
I think I picked BYU. BYU, they're another little. They like App State to me. They're a little scrappy team. You got to be careful with them.
Of course they scrappy, man. Their whole team 20, 25 years old or better. There's a bunch of grown folks out there. Like, for
Hey,
real
it's
though.
some team they got a 6-year senior. I forgot what team it was, but Buddy about 25, 26 for real. Still playing college ball.
Stetson Bennett, 24, bro. What you mean?
Stetson Bennett 24,
Stetson Bennett, 24. He'll be 25 for the end of the season.
playing against a bunch of true freshmen. Don't even feel bad for how you doing.
Hey, no, he can't feel bad. He been the underdog his whole life.
Yeah. Now they actually mention him in the Heisman.
I mean, how can you not though?
Um,
How can you
talk.
not though? He averaging like 330 a game, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, how can you
But
not?
I'm just saying, just think about what everybody was saying about him last year, about how the defense carried him, which they did,
They
but
did.
how the defense carried him,
They didn't.
and now he out this year balling out. They definitely did.
So one thing, the defense didn't carry him because the offense was still prolific. 2, they was passing the ball a lot more than people give them credit for. 3, they still disrespecting that man. They still disrespect him.
How you
Yeah.
figure?
Huh?
How you figure they still disrespect him?
When they
He
talk
get
about,
his he get his respect now. He already, I told you, he in the Heisman talk.
no, he not.
Now he
Not
ain't
for
got
real.
he ain't got the best odds.
Okay, I'll put it like this. Bryce Young had a terrible game Saturday, right? We can agree to that.
Did he?
He struggled.
Did you watch?
Yeah.
Did he have a game, or was his receivers off? Because it was really them, not him.
Okay, cool. When you put his numbers up from that game against Stetson Bennett numbers from the Oregon game, it ain't even close, right?
Yeah. You say what now?
I said you put up his numbers from the Texas game against Stetson Bennett numbers from the Oregon game, it's not close, right?
No, not from the Oregon game.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't gonna bring up Sanford and Utah State. I mean, it's Sanford and Utah State. I expect both of y'all to shine in the moment.
I mean, but if you watch the game and you watch his play, then you wouldn't be like he had a terrible game. If you
He
watch
did
his
have a
play,
terrible game.
then you didn't watch the game. Then
I did
you
watch
just
the
looked at the
game.
stat.
I watched the game, man. His receivers was not getting open. He was under pressure. They dropped some passes. All this happened. Nobody cares. Don't nobody care.
But all right, so if you watch the game, then you'll see the
I
man
just
was doing what he had to do. Put the team on his back and carry him. That's how you think we got the win. That was all Bryce Young.
If it was
Because the
all Bryce
receivers weren't
Young,
helping him. The receivers weren't helping him. He couldn't get open.
so on that last drive, who was catching the passes then? The receivers.
Brooks caught 2, and the running back caught 2.
Should have threw the ball to
And
him
then-
more,
and then-
but
And then the rest of the time, he was taking off with his legs and running out of bounds, moving the chains. So, I mean,
since we speaking on it anyway, Alabama escaped Texas with a 1-point win, 20-19.
yeah,
Uh,
it was a 21-point spread. We scored 20 points and beat them by 1, so we covered that.
so let's just go ahead. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, and then I'm gonna just let you have it because you're an Alabama fan, all right?
Go
Hey,
ahead, what up?
your best player, Will Anderson, had a terrible game. A lot of mental mistakes from him.
Facts.
B, your offensive line ain't it. I don't care what the people talking about at the beginning of the season. They ain't it. Okay, it ain't it.
They ain't gelled together yet. That's all. It take a few games.
C, and probably even more of a problem than the offensive line, your receivers cannot get open. They can't beat
Facts.
man-to-man coverage.
They was clamped. They was clamped. But when they did get away, they were still dropping the ball. Stay right here, that light on.
And D, your secondary ain't it, bruh. It ain't. It ain't it.
My secondary, I mean,
Ain't it. But I'll let you have it though. That's how I feel after the game. Texas played a great game. They took advantage of every opportunity that was presented to them. And I honestly believe if one of the quarterbacks was healthy, they would have won the game. But Alabama got some
But
issues going forward.
it's like I said. It's like I said prior to us recording. Them boys, Texas, they had Alabama game circled. They whole summer workouts and they whole game plan was focused on Alabama, and it showed in the game. We went in up unprepared, probably seeing how the media hyping us up, saying we should blow them boys out by 20. We're going in there halfway sleep, not really mentally there, and them boys they try to give us that work. But for Texas to play as well as they did and us to play as poorly as we did, I still feel good about the win. You know what I'm saying? We barely won, but we won.
So do you feel
What
like
I'm saying is, I don't feel like we're gonna have 15 penalties every game. I don't feel like Will Anderson gonna be lined up offside every game. I don't feel like our receivers is gonna get shut down every. I feel like we just had a bad outing that day.
okay, so
That's just how I feel.
you don't think any of these problems will persist? You feel like it was just one blip?
I feel like it was a bad game, yeah. And if the problems do persist, I don't see it. Just like you were saying earlier, with our receivers being shut down, I don't see all of our receivers being shut down every game going forward. You know what I'm saying? One of them might, they might still drop some balls or something, but everything that I seen going wrong in the game against Texas is stuff that we can fix. Basically, what I'm saying.
I can go for that. You know, um, the two biggest problems I see that y'all gonna have, and I feel like y'all gonna have it the whole season, is your offensive line and your secondary. Your
But
receivers is iffy.
our,
Receivers that
our,
can be iffy.
our offensive line started out like that last year, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
That's why
Alabama fans
we
have
ended up
told me,
hiring. That's why we ended up hiring the offensive line coach from Kentucky.
man, Alabama fans done told me the whole year that y'all offensive line was so bad last year, even though y'all had like the number one tackle in the country. Then he
That's
left
one. That's
when the
that's
first
that's one
round.
player. That's one
Hit,
player though.
Hear me out though. So he go get drafted high in the first round, and y'all replace him with somebody from Vanderbilt, and the line supposed to be automatically better. That never made sense to me. Ever.
No, it ain't the fact that the line was going to be automatically better. It is better than it would have been had we not got him.
I mean, I guess, but he ain't Evan Neal, so I don't see
No,
an
he's not.
improvement.
But
I don't see an improvement.
what I'm saying is, okay, you got a top tier lineman, you got a middle lineman, then you got the bottom. Okay, so Tyler Steen is in the middle of that. He ain't good as Owens, but he better than who would have had to step up.
Okay, I guess. But your secondary, they just like they was last year. A
The
lot of
secondary,
hype.
they was playing confused. They were playing confused. They ain't too open across the middle, letting them boys get open across the middle. Two people running down the field with one man, leaving the next man wide open. They giving too much cushion. I don't know what they was on.
See, you know what though? To me, those ain't even the things that I'm really concerned about because that could be easily fixed. That's just simple communication and coaching. Stuff I'm talking about is like you one on one, and instead of just playing the ball, you just gonna grab the man.
I'm get my
And
Chick-fil-A.
Alabama corners do it
Chick-fil-A.
almost every play.
I want to say almost every play,
Oh no,
but
almost every play. Watch them. If you watch them, they get away with it a lot because they do it so much. Kind of like New England back in the day. Them first three rings that Brady won, New England corners was notorious around the NFL for grabbing and holding receivers. But because they do it so much, they was getting away with it. Like they ended up changing the NFL rules and everything.
I sent you that 100 on your phone. I got it on mine.
But
But I mean, we'll see. I just feel like that was a bad outing.
oh
But
definitely.
I like that the way the outlook that y'all got on Alabama now. I like that.
That's just how I feel after week 2. I mean,
I mean, a lot of y'all happy that the game
happy?
played out like that.
No,
Yeah, y'all
no,
happy. Yeah,
no, no,
y'all
no.
really wanted us to lose.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Y'all really
I
wanted
mean,
us to lose.
I'm happy that I was proven right because the issues that I said y'all had was exposed. That's the only thing I'm happy about because it made me look like I was right. What I'm not happy about is that they got exposed against Texas when I picked y'all to blow Texas out because Texas ain't that good. And I could be wrong about it.
Everybody,
I could be wrong about
everybody
that
had
though.
us picked to do that. But like I just told you, they did the same thing Clemson said they did that year they beat us in that championship game about 4 years ago. They whole summer camp, all that, they focused on one team on that schedule, and that was Alabama. It's Alabama. We're gonna get everybody best. But
I mean,
even
but that
Texas
that ain't
best,
that new though.
even Texas best wasn't good enough to get the win. So like I say, I feel good. I
Texas
I don't like
best
how close
was.
it was.
Texas
I don't
best
like
was
how
good enough to get the win. Remember, that quarterback got knocked out, and then the
well,
backup
can't forget
quarterback was
that.
hurt. So,
Nah, that man wasn't hurt. That man broke for 20 yards and ran like the wind.
and limped the
But
last 15.
Tua played hurt worse than that against LSU.
That was y'all fault. Y'all ain't had no business putting that man out there on the field. He was out there on one leg, looking crazy.
But I'm saying he was worse off than the dude who was out there. He couldn't even Tua couldn't run for no 20 yards when he was out there playing LSU hurt like that.
I mean, well,
But that dude that
let's be
scampered for
honest,
20.
man. When Tua was healthy, he ain't running for no 20 yards, so that don't really matter.
Oh man, you gotta go watch his highlights. That man broke on LSU for about 40 yards, touchdown at that. And it was hurt that game too, just not as bad.
All right.
But we're gonna
Anyway,
move on, man. You know, I talk about Alabama all night. We're gonna move on to the next team.
all right, man. So the next team, matter of fact, we're gonna put all three of them together. Okay. You got the Sun Belt versus everybody. You had Marshall beating Notre Dame 26-21. You had Georgia Southern beating Nebraska 45-42, and App State on the road at number 6 A&M upsetting them folks 17-14, man.
You know, they done gave the Sun Belt a new nickname. They call it the Fun Belt now. Cause they say they becoming fun teams to watch and also teams that you don't want to put on your schedule all kind of ways.
He go the funny thing though. All three of them is really new to the Sun Belt though. Like Southern and
Yeah.
App State moved up together. It probably ain't been a whole 10 years yet. And then
No,
Marshall
no, it
just
ain't.
got
It
in
ain't.
there this year.
Georgia Southern just moved up to the Sun Belt when they won whatever I don't remember what division they was in before, but they had won that division.
No, they was sorry the year before they moved up. Matter of fact, the year that they beat Florida was their last year in the FCS, in the SoCon. The next year they had moved up to the Sun Belt.
So it was the next year, their first year in the Sun Belt that they won it then. It was something like that. They won it all
Uh,
one year.
it wasn't their first year in the Sun Belt, but it was their first year that they could win the Sun Belt. Because their first year in it, they weren't eligible to play for the championship. It was it was weird. It was weird, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was something like that. Like they won it like one of their first 1 or 2 years in the Sun Belt. And then App State done win it, I think, twice in like their first 5 years too.
What's crazy is that used to be a good game. GSU against App State. I actually went to one of them games a few years back.
Man, it's
When
still
App State
weird, bro.
came. That's one of their biggest games as far as home games for GSU. App State
Yeah,
campus be swamped.
man, App State being GSU biggest rival since like Adrian Peterson was there. It
Yep.
always
And
App
like I
State and
say,
Furman.
I went to that game. They played App State down there, man. Campus was swamped, dog.
Oh yeah.
There was so many people out there, boy. It was crazy.
Like me and my brother
But
went a few
now
years ago on a Thursday.
that's when GSU used to beat them every now and then. But now, if you tell me App State and GSU playing, I'm gonna take App State because they
Man,
here lately
GSU,
they've been goddamn they
hold
been
on,
having
hold
their
on.
number.
GSU done beat them like 2 of the last 3, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
missed
beat them
I
they
missed that.
in Boone and they beat them in Statesboro.
Yeah, I missed that.
It's either 2 of the last 3 or 2 of the last 4, and like them wasn't even
Maybe
good
maybe
Georgia Southern
maybe
team,
maybe maybe two of the last four.
something like that. But the
Okay.
Georgia Southern teams wasn't that good. It's App State. But
Ain't nothing but some reels and nothing like that.
App State, scrappy team, they gonna always come to play. GSU to me is like they play to their level of competition. Like when they play in
Man,
Nebraska,
that's half of dang on. That's half of college football. Do that.
yeah, that's what make it so hard to pick and predict who gonna do what.
As far as covering the spread, because Georgia didn't cover the spread this past weekend against Samford, and which they could have,
They
but they
could
didn't.
have. They took it easy on them.
That's what I'm saying. They played to the level of competition.
Yeah, I feel like that would had a lot to do with coaching though, because I watched the game and they were just experimenting. I'm just keeping a buck with you. Like they get to the red zone and just were doing random stuff that ain't had nothing to do with trying to score points.
There's nothing to do with nothing.
Nothing. Just and then in the second half, when they took Bennett out the game, they really wasn't trying to do nothing then for real.
Hey you guys, it's your girl Amy Bree. Make sure that you're following my business page, which is Amy Crafty Corner. We are doing t-shirts, decals, tumblers, liquor trees, anything that you really can name, you really have it. I'm on every social network, which is Amy Crafty Corner. Make sure you're following me. On Snapchat is Amy Bree 21. On Instagram is Miss Amy Bree with 2 E's. On Facebook is Amy Levant. My business page is also Amy Crafty Corner on any social network. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Moving on. So this week, you know what I mean, we're gonna kick out the week Friday night. You got Florida State gonna be in the all icy whites on the road at Louisville. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. I don't really know. I don't know which way this one gonna go, man. I'm taking Florida State though, 'cause I just want Florida State to win. But it ain't because I think they're gonna win. I just want them to win.
Why?
Why I want Florida State to win?
Yeah.
Cause man, man, college football is better when Florida State is good. When they sorry, it just be the ACC is so boring. Cause it
But
just
is
be
they good
Clemson.
though?
You said they not good?
I said, are they good?
I don't know. They
Who they
look
play
decent.
again?
Louisville.
Oh,
You know,
I
Louisville
ain't
got
nobody.
that they got a quarterback kind of like Lamar Jackson up there, Malik Cunningham.
I tell you a game I am interested in. I ain't saying I'm gonna watch the whole game, but I'm gonna watch a little of it.
Who that?
That's that Miami and Texas A&M.
Absolutely. Miami ranked 13. A&M done dropped all the way to 24. Um, I think A&M still favored in the game by like 3 though.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like to me, that's a must-win game right now. That's a
it is for
must-win.
A&M.
Yeah,
I feel like it's.
really for
That's why I
both.
say it's gonna be interesting. It's a must win for A&M, and it's a statement win if Miami was to win.
I feel like it's a must-win for both teams because if Miami lose that game, then all that Miami back, it go out the window. Like it's over
That's
with
what
for
I'm
that.
saying. That's why I said it'll be a statement game if they win.
Right. So who you think gonna win though? Miami or A&M?
It depends on what A&M do with their quarterback situation. If they swap quarterbacks, I'll probably lean towards A&M just because they back kind of against the wall right now. But if they're gonna keep King enough, Miami probably will get them.
I got a hot take for you.
What's that?
I don't think the quarterback the problem. I think the problem is the offense.
I mean, it could be, but the quarterback is the head of the offense. So
No,
he got to
Jimbo
start turning the
Fisher.
ball over. He got to
Jimbo
start turning
Fisher
the
the head
ball
of the
over. He
offense
got.
though.
I mean, yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying as far as he has to be, responsible with the ball, and that's
Yeah.
absolutely true. But when you the offensive coordinator, you could put your quarterback in position to succeed, or you could put him in position to make things difficult. And I feel like Jimbo Fisher is making things difficult.
So you feel like he ain't calling plays catering to King's strong points.
He ain't calling plays catering to his team, period. He got a great running back, don't really run the ball. He got
Exactly.
he got good receivers, good tight ends, but instead of just getting them the ball in space and letting them make a play, you want to try to scheme up the exact
But you got
route and put them here, and it should beat this coverage, but then they change the coverage. Like you're doing too much. You're making the
but
game
you got to think.
complicated.
You got to think though. If if the quarterback struggling like that, you go one dimensional. It's easy for them to tune in on stopping the run. So why you gonna keep trying to run the
No,
ball if they gonna tune in on stopping that?
I ain't
Because
saying go one
they ain't worried
dimensional.
about they ain't worried about your quarterback.
That ain't what I mean. I don't mean go one dimensional. I mean do things to help your quarterback and your team out. If I got good playmakers, all I gotta do is get them the ball in space. Why
Yeah,
why
but
am I trying to throw the ball into double coverage on every other play?
that's the quarterback deciding to do that.
No,
Coach
that's
called
the
the play,
play
but the
design.
quarterback got he throwing the ball into double cover. The play design don't say defense put two of them on this man and then you try to get the ball to him.
I tell you what, I give you another example of what I'm talking about, right? Um,
Right.
Jameis Winston, his last year in Tampa Bay, he threw 30 interceptions. That's all everybody want to talk about, right?
Yeah, but he led the league in yards and touchdowns.
So I'm finna say the flip side of that is the offensive coordinator at the time was Bruce Arians. I don't know who.
Yeah,
I think Brian Leftwich was officially the offensive coordinator. They were running Bruce Arians' offense. Bruce Arians was the one responsible for the play call and all that at that moment, right?
yeah,
Bruce Arians' whole thing is no risk it, no biscuit. That's his whole mantra. He want to throw the ball deep
yeah.
down the
And
field.
and it ain't just Jameis. If you look at any of the other quarterbacks that was on them, their numbers was up too.
That's my point. Now I'm proving, right? So the system puts the quarterback in position to put the ball in danger. Bruce Arians' system does. It just does. You're gonna throw for a lot of yards. You're gonna have a lot of touchdowns, but you're gonna have a lot of interceptions too. Like even Peyton Manning did it. Peyton Manning, Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner, all them.
Yeah,
So Jimbo Fisher is basically the college version of that. Like this is my system, this is my offense, this is why we're gonna run it. When I call this play, you need to throw the ball to this receiver. And like, if you don't believe me, watch the game. Watch him throw. If he throw the ball to somebody that might not be his number one target, you can see Jimbo say something to him about it. Like to me,
I
that's
mean,
a problem.
I can believe it, but it's like I said, if I don't know, man, that's gonna be a hard game to pick. But
It's definitely a hard game to pick. I'm picking A&M just because they at home and
I'm,
it's a
I'm
must win. But
yeah, that's what I said. I'm gonna say the same. I'm picking A&M.
I ain't got no faith in A&M though. If they lose, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Me either.
Let's see
But
another game.
I need them to win for our sake, for Alabama's sake.
Facts,
I need them to win.
man. For the whole SEC sake,
That
got
too.
us out here looking bad in these streets. Um, Speaking of SEC looking bad in these streets, number 22, Penn State, coming down to Jordan Hare to play Auburn. You know, the rumor is Auburn gonna be in they all orange jerseys. I ain't never seen that before. So that's
I
gonna
ain't
be
either.
different. I don't know if they really gonna do it, but if they do, that's gonna be different. You know. Auburn almost beat them last year up there in Happy Valley. Now they got them down here on the plains, man. I think Penn State is a 3-point favorite,
Yeah, three and
but
a half.
I like Auburn. Give me Auburn, man, just 'cause they at home.
So you gonna go with the home team.
Absolutely. They
All
almost
right, well
beat them for last year.
put me down for my first. It really won't be an upset pick, but it will be at the same time. But I'm gonna take state.
You take Penn State favorite. You talking about the upset pick.
That's why I say it won't be an upset pick, but at the same time it will be. But I'm taking Penn State in that one.
I can respect it. Um, you got number 12 BYU on the road at number 25 Oregon. You know, Oregon, they put a smackdown on a cupcake last week. So this is gonna be they opportunity to redeem themselves after that shellacking that they received in week 1 against Georgia. You know, BYU
Mm-hmm.
coming off the upset win against Baylor at home last week. Who you liking this one?
I like BYU.
You like BYU?
Yeah, I like BYU. I say that because the same reason I was saying for Miami, it'll be a statement win for them. If they
Absolutely.
pull this off, it'll be a statement win for them. I feel like they just beat Baylor, so they feeling confident. So
I'm gonna take Oregon. And
Because they at home.
number one, because they at home, and number two, the same reason I'm taking A&M. Like it's a must-win game. Like if you lose this game, you might as well cancel your whole season. Nothing else matters,
Especially at home.
especially at home. And it's gonna be their first home game against a power, not a Power 5 opponent because they ain't Power 5, but a bigger school. See,
Yeah.
BYU basically in that same area with Notre Dame. They independent, so they technically not Power 5, but they really Power 5 though.
I mean, they not Power 5, but I look at them as a Power 5 team.
Right. Like I don't look at BYU and Notre Dame like Air Force.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's just different.
It's a bigger level of respect for
Of course, we got the main event. Them dogs. Number one in the country. The reigning national champions. Out here, defense only giving up 1.5 points a game at this point. They on the road. First road test, first SEC test on the road at South Carolina.
them. Why are you calling this a test? And it's
Because
not
it
gonna be.
is.
As much as I would love to see South Carolina get the upset, I don't think it's gonna be close.
You don't think so?
Nah.
So my thing is this.
But at the same time, I thought the same thing when Alabama went to Texas. I thought we were gonna go in there and slap them boys around. The boys was fighting back, putting hands and feet on us.
If this was the Georgia coaching staff from 2017, 2018, this would be a blowout, guaranteed, because they thing is they would have came in the game, just lined up and punched South Carolina in the mouth running the ball, right?
They're gonna do that anyway.
No, they not. And this is why I know
Well,
they
they may
not.
not. They may not punch him in the mouth running the ball, but they're gonna go in there and punch him in the mouth.
Man, they gonna go in there and try to
But
throw the
see,
ball.
Stetson Bennett playing so well right now. They're gonna want to keep on letting him throw that ball around because he doing too good of a job for him not to be slinging it around.
And I understand that. However, if I know that y'all can't stop the run, and they didn't prove that they can't stop the run, they gave up 200-yard rushing to Georgia State. Then they gave up 300 yards rushing last week to Arkansas. Y'all can't stop the run. Get what? Starting defensive end out for the season with a torn ACL. Starting middle linebacker out for the season with a torn ACL. This is gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a blowout.
I feel like Georgia gonna blow them folks out. I think the line is 24. I think Georgia gonna cover that line. I don't think they're gonna play with South Carolina the way they did with Sanford. I think they're gonna play a lot more like they did against Oregon.
It will behoove them not to do that.
I'm trying to tell you, but you can't be. This is an SEC team. Go in there playing you want to, take that L for real.
You used to be a rival.
It still is. They still Carolina.
I said, nah. I mean,
Yeah.
it is, but it ain't. It ain't no good rival. It ain't no. Well, I say it used to be. I mean, it used to go back and forth.
Bro, they just
Now it's
won.
just
They just won a few years ago now.
against y'all, man. To my that little 1 or 2 point game win when that was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Man, stop it. That was Jay Fromm. That was 3 years ago. Yep.
It been that recent.
Yeah. Your boy played in the game. Your boy Jermaine Burton was out there messing up. Nah, he went out there. He went.
Oh,
Uh,
man, y'all gonna kill them boys, man.
You know what's funny though? Matt Landers played in that game. Matt Landers caused a interception in that game. He at Arkansas right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
Hey man, it's crazy how the transfer portal thing is. But I was looking at the other day. I think Georgia got like 4 or 5 former players that's starting for SEC schools.
Like Alabama.
Like you got Matt Landers.
And that's think about that too. When we played Texas, A Guy Hall ain't play, nor did uh the tight end that was playing with us.
Billingsley ain't playing that game.
Billingsley ain't play or Guy Hall.
Why Billingsley ain't play though?
You remember he under that suspension?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Now, Guy Hall, I thought they were saying that he was gonna play, but I don't know what happened with him. But
He
they
got
would have
hurt.
had
Didn't
them two weapons. That might have been the case. I don't remember what it was.
he? I can't remember what it is either. I want to say that
Also,
Ja Hall got hurt.
well, he don't start for them, but he played backup running back Keelan Robinson.
For who?
He played
Texas?
behind Bijan. Yeah, he ran behind Bijan.
Yeah, but
He transferred.
he get enough burn. You know, he a factor for them.
Yeah. So that's three. That's three players that transferred from Alabama, all of them on the same team.
Yeah, God was going to say Matt Landers and Latavius Brini, both at Arkansas, both of them starting. Jermaine Burton at Alabama. Who am I forgetting? I don't know if I forgot somebody just that fast. One of the linemen start somewhere. I want to say Clay Webb. He's starting somewhere else. You got Tyreek Stevenson at Miami. He been one of their best players since he got there.
You said who?
Tyreek Stevenson.
Oh.
So he transferred last year, at the end of last year. Started at Miami. Matter of fact, the boy Jermaine Johnson, that went in the first round from Florida State, transferred from Georgia.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because he wasn't starting at Georgia. He was playing a lot, but he wasn't starting.
Well, we know how Georgia do. They don't always start their best players. Justin Fields, to be exact.
First of all, Justin Fields hadn't been starting at that point. That's like saying you were gonna start Bryce Young over Mac Jones. You was never gonna do that, even though Bryce Young is way more talented than Mac Jones.
He ain't way more accurate though.
Huh?
He ain't more accurate though.
He's more talented though.
I mean, he's
more talented.
He's more mobile, but as far as throwing passes, they can complete the same passes. And as far as the deep ball, Mac Jones is better. So the only thing that Bryce Young got over Mac Jones is being able to get out that pocket and run if it happens to break down.
The only advantage that Justin Fields had over Jay Fromm at that moment was the exact same thing. He wasn't a better passer. He wasn't better in the offense. He wasn't.
Okay, well, that's your squad. I ain't gonna argue that.
I mean, to be honest, I was surprised he even committed to Georgia to begin with, because I figured he would go to the same kind of offense he ran in high school, which is what Ohio State did. That was just me. You know what I mean?
Maybe that was his plan, but Georgia recruited him. So the fact that they recruited him, if he knew what kind of offense they ran, but they recruited him, maybe he felt like, well, they recruited me, they must be gonna try to, switch up the offense a little bit, and they can run through me. I can be the leader of that.
They did, and they didn't at the same time. So what it was, the offensive coordinator that they had the year he was there, Chaney basically didn't want to change the offense. So they got rid of Chaney, brung in Coley from Miami to run that type of offense, but Coley's just a terrible offensive coordinator. So he ended up getting fired too. And that's when they bring in Ty Monken.
What's that which one of them offensive coordinators y'all had that you didn't like?
Coley and Schottenheimer.
No, it wasn't Coley, it was somebody else.
Probably talking about Schottenheimer then. Schottenheimer was there Mark Richt last year.
Wait, where Sam Pittman come from? Arkansas head coach. Where he came from?
He was at Georgia. He wasn't the offensive coordinator. He was the offensive line coach.
Oh, okay.
Now I love Sam Pittman. You tripping. I wish I had Sam Pittman back right now.
It was one of them coaches you ain't like. Y'all offensive coordinator. It was the offensive coordinator. You ain't like him though.
Okay. Here go the line now. It was Mark Richt was the offensive coordinator and the head coach when he first got there. Then he made Mike Bobo the offensive coordinator.
That's what it was.
I like Mike Bobo though.
So it was who came after him?
Schottenheimer.
Oh.
Because Mike Bobo left to be the head coach at Colorado State, And then Mark Richt hired Schottenheimer from the NFL. And then Schottenheimer came in that last season and was terrible. I'm talking about he was a disaster.
That might be who it is.
Yeah, he got fired. Well, you know, they whole coaching staff left because that's when they bring in Kirby. And then Kirby came in with Jim Chaney. And Jim Chaney was cool, but he was just old. Like,
As your
like
offensive coordinator?
yeah, he was the offensive coordinator
maybe
when
maybe that's who I'm talking about then. Maybe it's Jim Chaney.
no. See, Jim Chaney was cool. It was when Chaney left and went to Tennessee and they brought in James Coley, because they wanted to try to have a more spread out, offense. Coley was just terrible. I'm talking, he sucked as offensive coordinator. And I didn't expect that because he did good at one game he was at Georgia doing it. But he sucked. He only lasted 1 year, and then they bring in Ty Monkey. So they was working on changing the offense, to get the more spread out offense concept going.
Ain't work out.
Nah, the timing just went right for it. You know how that go. Like, they tried though. They made an attempt. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, back to these games. I gotta mention Georgia Southern is on the road at UAB Saturday. UAB is like a 3-point favorite.
And that's crazy because UAB, their football program disappeared for a while.
I'm talking about bad like it never left.
Mm-hmm. I like GSU though.
I like GSU too. My only thing is, I hope they don't go in there, with the big head. Like, yeah, man, we just knocked off Nebraska. Like, yeah, man, you knocked off Nebraska, but it ain't Nebraska from 96 and 97. Like Scott Frost got fired the next day, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't that Nebraska that was taking over for the 99-2000.
No, see, 99-2000 thing was starting to dip a little bit. It ain't been the same, bro. It ain't been the same since Scott Frost was the quarterback. You understand me?
Right.
Yeah, ain't that something? Man, Scott Frost was the quarterback the last time they won a national championship. And if I ain't mistaken, he went back to back.
Yeah, they got him up out of there though. He ain't got to worry about that no more.
Yeah, man, let's be honest, man. They gave the man way too long because he was one of theirs. Like, if he'd have been anybody else with that record that he had, because he had a losing record the whole time, ain't no way you're going to last to start your 5th season. It's not going to happen.
No, not how they find him now, boy. You got about 3 at the most.
Max. And unless you at Georgia Tech, you're at Georgia Tech, they might let you stay.
And see how quick Texas got rid of Tom Herman.
Yeah, but see, Tom Herman problem was more than just wins and losses. Tom Herman just was a terrible coach. Like, his locker room was terrible. Man, it was all kind of stuff coming out about that situation.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, kind of like how Ed Orgeron was at LSU. He had a lot of off-the-field stuff going on. You know how they be, though. When you winning, don't nobody care. When you get to losing, though, they just use it as an excuse.
Yeah. But, hey, my phone about to die, man.
Hey, man, I'm finna cut it short anyway, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe, hit the links in the description. Hey, man, go Dogs.
Roll Tide.
I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to them boys that sat on them benches, boy. I was in the game on 4th and inches. Coach put me in the game on 4th and inches. Put me in the game on 4th and inches. Coach put me in the game on 4th and inches. And I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage.